Yo, what's up guys? So I got the transmission from my boy Wyatt yesterday. Shout out to Wyatt if you watch my video. It's kind of crusty, but I think it could use some love. It looks like the rest of it's pretty tight, like the rear part of it's really tight. The front input shaft kind of seems a little loose, but I have to take the whole bell housing off to put my CA bell housing on, so I may just pull that apart and see what's up with that real quick. Maybe I'll replace it with the bearings or the bushings that my other transmission used because it's nice and tight. But for now, we're gonna spray it off with a car wash and get everything off of it and get it somewhat clean, and then we'll go ahead and put it in my car. You guys saw we pressure washed the transmission off because it was pretty crusty. It's still pretty crusty. So I'm gonna make a last effort to clean this thing up. I got the bell housing clean, but I'm not even gonna use the bell housing, so I really don't know why I even did that. But I'm gonna make a last effort to try to get this clean with a brush and my drill. And then after that, we're gonna pull this apart and we'll put the CA bell housing on this, and then it'll be ready to slap in. Alright, as you guys can see, it's a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's better. You can see I only cleaned the gearbox and not the bell housing because I'm not using the bell housing. Still got some corrosion, you can see it like deep in there. But you know, it's better than it was. Nobody's gonna see this thing. Yeah, look at that compared to that. I leaked some gear oil into my freshly cleaned truck. Like I literally just cleaned this off with a car wash when I sprayed this transmission off. Looks like it needs wiped down again from all the dust from the wire wheel. But yeah, if you guys are ever trying to clean something, man, that wire wheel gets it done. That's probably about as far as I'm gonna take it. I might hit it with some brake cleaner, and then let's take this bell housing off and swap it for the CA one. May do something about this input shaft. Got a lot of play in it. I'm guessing the bushing or something may be worn out in it. So let's do that. I want to swap these out, the front shaft and the bearing. You see how it pulls apart. I can't take everything off of this transmission as much as I'd like to. The bearings are way tighter on this one and everything, but We're gonna start by taking the snap ring off. I don't actually know what I'm doing, I'm just pretending. Backyard mechanicking. I don't recommend what I'm doing. The input shaft on this transmission had a lot of play, but my CA trans looked like it was like freshly rebuilt. It was nice and tight, so I'm gonna replace my input shaft. Hold on, this screen keeps fogging up. I'm gonna replace my input shaft, which is this shaft right here. You see how it has all this play, with my other one from my other CA trans. To do that, I had to pull this bearing off. I pretty much beat this off. I would never do that, but it's a loose bearing. And then I'd take all of this apart to get this off. There's a snap ring in there, so don't try to pry from the back of the gear. Ask me how I know. And I'm gonna pull this gear off right here, and then this will come right off. And then I'll swap it for the other one, and then we'll put it all back together with a fresh bearing from the other trans, and hopefully that'll fix, the rest of the trans seems tight, that should fix my input shaft. Nice and tight. This is the gear out of the CA. So this input shaft was different. I was gonna swap this whole thing because this bearing's tighter. This bearing has a little bit of play in it, but it'd be very hard to press the bearing off of this. So we're just gonna leave it. I swapped this bearing, and this went inside here. So that tightened it up a good bit by itself. It still has a little play, but it's better than it was. And then we'll also swap this bearing. It's also really sloppy with the one out of the CA, which is right here. All right, guys, it's all cleaned and put back together. I wasn't able to swap the whole input shaft because you can see the sinker on the CA trans looks a bit bigger. But I did chip one of the gears, pulling it off. This was the old KA gear. I chipped it right here because I forgot to take the snap ring off because I'm dumb. But I replaced it with the CA one. It's perfectly good. Everything seems good. I couldn't swap this out like I was saying because I can't press this off because the shaft is so long. I was gonna swap this, but I did swap this bearing, and I swapped the inner bearing that goes in there. It looks like this. And with those bearings swapped, much tighter. You guys can see it's quite a bit tighter, a lot less play. And here we are, it's ready to go. I just need to swap the bell housing onto it, and once we swap the bell housing on, seal it up, it's ready to go back in the car. Hey, what's up, guys? It's probably like day 3, I think, of me working on this thing. Got the transmission all put together. I think I fixed the shaft play. Has a little bit still, but not nearly as much as it did. It goes into all the gears, everything. We just took the flywheel off. We're gonna do the rear main seal while we're here. My rear main on this has been leaking for quite a while, so I have this brand new one sitting here. I ordered a whole OEM gasket set when I did the head, so we can replace that. You can see it's been leaking for a minute. It's tired. Hopefully I put that transmission together right, and I don't have to trailer this car over to our new place. Okay, guys, we got the rear main replaced. Looks like it's seated all the way. Now we just have to put the flywheel back on, torque it all down, and then we should be ready after that. I'll place the clutch on it and I'll torque all that to spec. I had a bad experience. One time I didn't torque it to spec. So we got the flywheel torqued on with the new rear main seal, and we got the pressure plate on. It's all torqued to spec, ready to go. Go ahead and pull this guy out. Or not. Oh, damn, okay. We're gonna go ahead and do the exhaust manifold gaskets. Went ahead, pulled the manifold bolts, got the manifold off. Barely separated. I didn't disconnect literally anything else, but I think we had an exhaust leak. I mean, it was pretty much leaking out of every single cylinder. It's even worse, I think, on this side. Super bad leak. Yeah, you can see it better now. Super bad. I was losing a lot of boost out of that. It was literally, I was just watching the exhaust leak out as the car ran. But we went and got some new gaskets. They're ca18det metal gaskets, supposed to be reusable. Hopefully these solve my problems. I've always struggled with these manifold leaks, and it's an OEM manifold, so you wouldn't think it would leak, but it does. So we're gonna throw these on and then bolt it back up. Hopefully we're good on that, and then all we have left to do is throw my new trans in. I'm waiting for the throwout bearing for that, and that should show up tomorrow. I got the fluid today, so all we gotta do is throw these on, throw that trans on, and then it should be ready to drive and hopefully drift this season. I need to get one more dyno tune on it for the last time with the S15 turbo. This time I'm gonna be modest and aim for like 270 horsepower. The most I've ever made was 238, I think, or something like that. So hopefully we make a little bit more than that this time, especially without my gaskets leaking and stuff. But we'll see. I think I'm gonna have better luck with this S15 turbo. Okay, so we got the exhaust manifold gasket swapped out. Really wasn't that bad. Probably because I've done this a bunch of times. I feel like I know this really well. You can't really see it, but you can kind of see the rivets on there. All done, nice and tight, ready to go. All I gotta do is put my intercooler pipe back, and then we're ready to toss that trans in. Literally all we're waiting on is the throwout bearing. I got the fluid and everything to put it all in. So as soon as we get that throwout bearing, we can toss the trans back in and see if I didn't just make this worse than it already was. So I got everything set up to put my transmission back in. I even put this turbo inlet on that I got from Wyatt. Thanks, Wyatt. It's a little smaller than, I was using a 3-inch, a little bit smaller than that. But I showed you guys, we got the manifold gasket on, got the new rear main on. You can see I got the clutch back there. It's all on, torque to spec. And I got the car sitting on wheels now. I got the jack underneath there, so now I'm gonna drop the subframe so I don't have to struggle like I did pulling the transmission out, and I can just put the transmission back on. I have the transmission set up. I got a new throwout bearing on here. And I got the whole thing assembled, ready to go. Clutch fork is hooked up correctly. So now all I gotta do, drop the subframe and slide the transmission on. Okay guys, I got the subframe bolts dropped. I don't know if I have them dropped enough. You can't really see from right there. I have the subframe dropped down. So hopefully that gives me enough clearance to put that transmission in. We're about to put it in right now. Okay guys, so I finally got the trans all in, tightened up the mounts, tightened up the drive shaft. It's all put together. You guys probably can't see anything under there, but it's there. Got the intercooler pipe back on. Got jumper cables on because this battery's always dead from sitting. Probably need to warranty it. But you can kind of see transmissions in there. We'll see if the transmission doesn't blow the hell apart. There we go, got it. There it is, it cranked right up. Let it warm up for a minute and then we'll try the gears. Alright, the rear wheels are spinning. Hit the gas a little bit, just a little bit. Alright, it's going. Yeah, give it a little throttle. Alright. Yeah, it's there. Everything seems good. We'll see if it is good when I get to drive it. You can't get over this. Got it in. My clutch is like out of adjustment. It's like to the floor. I'm fighting my clutch right now. It's raining. I'm telling you, it didn't start raining until the absolute second I pulled this out of the garage. It started pissing rain, and I don't have windshield wipers on it still. But my clutch sucks. It's still like trying to grind. But it's going. My car drives forward. Second gear is grinding. God damn, I can't see shit. Can you see?
Yep, I can go to the right.
God dang. Come on. There we go. Grinding gear is gonna ruin the synchros on this transmission. God damn, I can't see shit. God damn, I would love to just be able to see on this first drive. Car sounds good. I need to bleed my clutch. The transmission seems fine. The only issue I really had was I need to bleed my clutch, and it literally started raining. The literal moment I pulled out from under the garage, it started to piss and rain. But, so it was a miserable drive. I couldn't see shit. My clutch didn't work. So that sucked. My lights work amazing though. They're super bright. I can see everything. I love my new steering wheel. Looks sick with all my stuff. And overall, I'd say it drove pretty good. If the clutch was fine, I think the car would be fine. The turbo sounds awesome. I love hearing the turbo on it. Sounds so good. Sounding super healthy. Looking good. I just need to sort out the clutch issue and we should be in business. One of these days I'll put my windshield wipers on. I have the wiring and everything for it. I just literally don't know where my actual arms went. So one of these days I'll find them. Anything else, Mariah?
No. I'm still pissed off.
The neighbor is stupid, but it's okay. I'll catch you guys later.